Hello and welcome to JDUB and Friends, episode 30 with the one, the only, Ryzen. How you doing tonight, Ryzen?
Uh, I'm all right.
It's good to
Better
hear.
than my team.
Very true, very true. Ryzen here is a Patriots fan, so it's been a little rough season for him, unlike, some other
It's
fans.
been a rough 4 years, I guess.
Yeah, very true, very true. Um, so I do have some news. It's kind of breaking today. For anybody that is a Bears fan, I'm sorry, you might want to look away. Uh, But Matt Eberflus was fired today. Um, did you hear about that?
Yeah, yeah. I was a little surprised they didn't fire him when they lost to the Patriots. Frankly,
Yeah. He ended up with a record of 14 and 32, which he never had a winning season with the Bears. Also multiple losing streaks of 14 games, from 2022 to 2023 and 6 games in 2024. Um, yeah, his track record in close games was 5 and 19 in one score games.
yeah, he was a terrible coach.
Yeah, he uh he had bad play clock timing last game against the Lions. They easily could have won that game or at least
That
tied
was
it. Would have
crazy.
gone overtime. Yeah.
How do you only
Um
run one play with like 40 seconds left? That's crazy.
it don't make sense. Uh I have a random trivia for you. How many coaches since Mike Ditka have had 500 record or better for the Bears?
One.
You're close. Two.
Okay. The
Levy
Bears have been a disaster for a long time.
Yeah, Lovey Smith was the first one at 84 and 46, um,
Okay.
which he was there for 8 years. He was a good coach. They probably should never fired him, but what do I know? And the
Yeah,
second was,
84 was a rough year for us.
yeah, the
Got
second,
crushed in the Super Bowl.
the second one was Matt Nagy, who is now the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. So
Oh yeah, he was a pretty good coach.
yeah, he went 34 and 32 for the Bears. So I mean, I
It's
guess you
not
can't go
bad
too
for the
bad, too
Bears.
right. Like I was telling you guys, I am interviewing Ryzen tonight. Here is actually his Twitch channel. Looks like you actually just streamed
Yeah, earlier
Octopath
today.
Traveler today. Yep.
Yep.
The f-
Been
I've heard.
streaming that in Daybreak.
Yeah, I'm about to say I see Trials through Day or Trails through Daybreak right here. Um, is Octopath? I've heard Octopath Traveler is pretty fun. Is that true?
It is very, very good. It is excellent. The music's excellent. The gameplay mechanics are great, and it's interesting how it's set up with the different individual storylines.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I was waiting for it to come out on PS4 and it finally did, so now I'm gonna buy it.
The sequel's even better. So
That's what I've heard, and that came out on PS5 and PS4, so
yeah, but
and
I love the game.
definitely I'm definitely interested in trying it out. And then Ryzen's YouTube right here. Uh we're on my um YouTube or my podcast account, so I haven't subscribed to everybody yet on that
Yeah,
because I'm kind of
yeah. I
slow.
started actually multi-streaming, so now I stream to both simultaneously.
That's the way to do it. He's done a lot of streams. His wife actually streams too, so if you might catch her on some of the streams. Um, and yeah, then you got done Phoenix Wright, which was a pretty good Ace Attorney and Trials and Tribulations, which I enjoyed watching that a lot. Persona 5 Royal, fun game.
Yeah, it's a
But yeah,
very good game.
he's done a lot of different game. Started with Earthbound, which
Yeah, it was back when I had horrible quality mic.
yep, I think
Back of
everybody did back then.
the old desktop microphones that plugged into the 3.5 millimeter. Those things were
Yep.
terrible.
And then one of my favorite RPGs for the PS2, Wild Arms 3. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm actually very proud. I'm pretty much like the only Wild Arms 3 Let's Play on YouTube that is
Yeah,
completed. I'm pretty sure that's still the case.
it's such a great game. If nobody's played it, it's such a great game. But yeah, he's done a lot. Grandia, um, which I haven't played yet. I want to play that one and the second one, so that'll be my next games to catch
Yeah, they
up
got the
on.
HD collection.
Yeah, that's why I catch up on now. Um, Now, I was telling him before the stream starts that I do 5 questions to get to know somebody. Well, I've watched Ryzen for years now. I don't. I have to. I usually have my list of years that I watch, but I've probably been around. Not since the beginning, but I think caught up. I think Wild Arms is actually one of the first LP I watched years because like you said, nobody else was doing Wild Arms, so I
Yep.
was like, I
Yeah.
need to
If
get
I'm
stuck.
I think I have the best Waldorf Street walkthrough on YouTube.
Yeah,
But that's
definitely.
because it's like the old one.
Very true.
I'm very
Um,
proud of that one actually.
yeah, it's a great LP. If you've never watched it, people should watch it definitely. But I was telling him, I said, I usually start with 5 questions because some people want to get to know somebody. So, uh, now he is a Patriots fan, which it's been a rough 4 years for him after Tom Brady left.
Look,
Uh,
we deserve it. We tortured the league for 20 years, so
yeah, it's not a bad thing. So this might be a hard question for you. It might be an easy question, might be a hard question, depends. But who is the worst Patriots player of all time, in your opinion?
of all time.
Yeah, or what your fandom, whatever one is easier.
Oh God, there's been a lot of bad players. Nikhil Harry,
Okay.
just because he had a lot of hype and did nothing. I
Mm,
mean, Taekwon Thornton at least did things. Uh,
yeah.
Rashay Caldwell was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Way back in what was that like 2015?
Something like that.
That
Yeah.
team, I can't believe that team made like the playoffs. That team was bad. I think it was the
Nice.
2011 when Rashay Caldwell was on the team. Him and his bug eyes. But yeah,
Patriots.
probably Nikhil Harry, just because he was so bad.
The Patriots have definitely had some good players, but they've had some players that you're like, why was he a Patriot?
I mean, I guess actually they had Albert Hainsworth on this team once. He's terrible.
I forgot about
So you
that.
know what? I'm gonna pick him because he's not only bad, he's lazy. So
Yep.
if Nikhil Harry tried, he just wasn't very good.
Mhm.
Hainsworth didn't even try. He didn't care.
At that point, yeah, because he
So
was
probably
a
when he joined the team,
because he
he,
was a
he was one of
Redskin for a while. Sorry, that's what they were
yeah,
called back then.
yeah, I know they were. Yeah, he was in Washington for a while, and then he like got paid, and then just stopped trying. And then
Right.
Bill thought, in his infinite wisdom, I can fix him. No, he can't. He can't fix Albert Hainsworth.
Nope, not at
So
all.
he was terrible. I mean, no effort, barely tried. Just a terrible, terrible player.
Now, you've been a Patriots fan for a good long while now.
Yeah,
Uh,
since like the 90s.
how many Patriot jerseys do you own?
Actually, I only own Tom Brady's, believe
Oh,
it or not.
really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good one to own. I actually own that jersey too because he went to Michigan, and I'm originally from Michigan, so he's one of my favorite.
it's all beaten up now, but that's the only one I have.
Oh, nice.
My wife has it too.
Okay.
Has one too.
Yeah, I am an Eagles fan, but the like my main thing is I can't afford to buy jerseys because
Yeah,
they want
they're
120
expensive.
bucks.
They're
Yeah.
like 100. Yeah, like $200 for a jersey.
Yep. I ended up getting Mike Vick jersey for like 40 bucks when
So I,
he left the team.
I mean, I have 3 Super Bowl shirts, but
Hmm.
only one jersey.
Yeah. Now you do LPs. Is there
Yes.
any LPers that you look up to or that you want to know?
Uh, well, I mean, I got into it because I started watching Issue Bailey long time ago when I was a kid. So that's when I was
Mm.
a kid relative to being,
Yeah.
36 now. But yeah, he was the first person I actually watched, and I don't remember what the first LP that I watched him of. One of his really early ones, but
Hmm.
that's why I got into Let's playing JRPGs basically.
Yeah. HC Bailey, if you haven't checked him out, he is a great
He's
LPer.
still going.
Yep. It's
Pretty much the
nuts.
most consistent Let's Player on YouTube, at least one of them.
Yeah.
Him and like Chugga, I guess.
Yeah, Chugga just
But
hit his 50th Let's Play.
just HG Bailey does like so much research and effort into the Let's Plays. It's crazy.
Yeah,
And he
he
plays through the games like 4 or 5 times
Mhm.
just before doing it.
Yeah, he's been doing it for uh I mean, I think he was doing it when it was still camcorder recordings and stuff like that back
Yeah,
in the day. Just nuts. Um, Now unlike some other teams, you've got to watch a lot of your team in the Super Bowl. Um,
yep.
what is your favorite Super Bowl the Patriots played in?
The Atlanta Falcons won 28-3.
I'm about to say, I
Just
wonder
because
why.
that was no, it was the biggest roller coaster ever.
Yeah.
Man, I remember the pick six. I
Mm.
actually had to walk away from the game. Went downstairs. This was back when I had it downstairs before I moved. And I was like, I can't watch. This is ridiculous. I went downstairs, had to take some deep breaths, and I came back up and I'm like, it's a Super Bowl. Gotta watch the stupid thing. Gotta watch them get blown out. And then
Yep.
everybody's gonna say the Patriots are done. Got to this, and then they got to the third quarter, and it still got it worse. I mean,
Mm.
they Atlanta scored again,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's got to be over. And then when we got the James White touchdown, I'm like, oh yay, we're not embarrassed now. Oh, we missed the extra point. I'm like, oh my god, like we suck horribly.
Mm.
And then we got the field goal. I'm like, oh great, we're kicking a field goal to go down two scores by 16, as if we're gonna get two 2-point conversions, and then immediately get the fumble. I'm like, oh my god, they might win the game. As soon as
Yep.
Hightower did that blitz, which I have no idea what was, I think it was Freeman. Was it Devonta
Mm.
Freeman? Just didn't pick up the blitz,
Yeah.
and Ryan just got creamed and just
Mm.
fumbled the ball. And when they recovered that fumble, it was Alan Branch that recovered the fumble. I remember this. I was like, they might win this game. And then when they
Yeah.
scored, and then when we had the Edelman catch, I was like, nah, they're destined. They're gonna win the game.
Yep.
Like they're gonna win the game. As soon as it went into overtime, everybody knew this
Yeah.
game is over. They're gonna win the game.
Yep. Yeah.
That was the greatest ride ever.
The Edelman catch, I feel like changed the whole momentum of the game once he caught that ball.
That was crazy. And I was sure he caught it before they did the replay. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he caught that ball.
Yeah.
But he caught it by like an inch. That's amazing. I mean, he admits it's just like it's a lucky catch. I mean, it is a lucky catch, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. He was one of the players that I could never figure out how um Belichick found these wide receivers that you never heard
Yeah,
of, like
he was
him,
he was good.
Amendola.
Yeah,
It's like
I
what?
mean, Edelman worked himself into being a good player.
Yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Now, you have done a lot of different LPs on a lot of different consoles. Do you have favorite console of all time?
Favorite console, probably the PS2 because
Mm,
Bottoms 3 is one of my favorite JRPGs.
PS2 is such a great console.
Yeah, I mean, going back further than that, probably would be after that would be the Super Nintendo, just because
Mm,
Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite
yeah,
games.
that makes sense.
But
Yes.
PS2, I think edges it out for me because that was like a golden era of JRPGs. That and the PlayStation One,
Definitely.
like the golden era.
Now we're gonna talk a little about your Patriots right now. I know that's kind of a sore subject because they're not playing very well this year.
I have to talk about it every week, so it is what it is.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, Ryzen does a live reaction after the game's done.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot of yelling lately.
it's great. I've been watching. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Let's see what
No, I
happens this
mean
week.
everybody deserves to have me suffer. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like we tormented the league for 20 years.
Yep.
Things ebb and flow, and we're in a real down low spot now. Now it's
Oh,
now it's Kansas City that's tormenting everybody with black magic of having quarterbacks drop footballs on game-winning drives. So
yep. Or missing a field goal or blocking a field goal somehow
yeah,
magically
that was
in the last
crazy.
2 weeks.
Just
Let's
crazy.
go ahead and go look at ESPN. Now, do you think your Patriots can still make the playoffs?
No. I think they're not technically no, I think they might have been eliminated. I don't know. If
Let's
they're not
see.
eliminated, they might as well be.
Right now, they are not eliminated. The only team eliminated is the New York Giants right now, which
Okay. I'm not
that
surprised. The Giants are terrible.
yeah, um,
They actually are a dumpster fire. Ever since they fired Tom Coughlin.
definitely. Yeah,
That was a huge mistake.
The New York Giants and the Patriots have some past history.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I never forgave them for the ruining the perfect season.
right. and then doing it back to back times against Tom. That was craziness. I didn't expect them
Yeah,
to
they
win either Super Bowl.
yeah they shouldn't have. Could have played those games 100 times. Patriots would have won 99 times.
Yep. So let's see. Right now, wow, yeah, the Chiefs clinched the playoff berth at 11 and
Yep,
1.
not
Surprising.
surprised. I think they're the worst 11-1 team in like history.
Yeah.
They don't impress me this year.
So your Patriots are 3 and 9 right now. They are 14th in the AFC.
Yeah, they're bad.
And let's see, the Broncos are 7 and 5. So
I like Denver. Denver's pretty good this year.
yeah,
They got a lot out of Bo Nix. I'm surprised.
yeah. So you guys would have to basically, I think, win out to make the playoffs and hope the Broncos lose
Yeah,
out.
not happening.
No, not right now. Um, as you can tell on my screen, if anybody's watching Twitch, yes, I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and they are 9 and 2.
They are really good.
They are, and I think the bad thing was that we started off well in the first game, or first 2 games, and then lost 2 games, and then now have gone
Yeah,
crazy the last
I think they're like
first
the second best team in the NFC.
yeah, behind the
I
Lions.
mean, the Lions are the best, but I mean, the Lions are just. I know they had a close game last week, but they've been like dominating.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna see how this goes next in the next couple weeks, but let's go to your Patriots. So let's see the Patriots right now. I think what is there 5 games left? One, two,
I believe
three,
so.
4, 5. Yep, 5 games left.
They play the Colts this week.
Yep.
They still have to play the Bills twice.
Yeah, which is so weird that they put them at the end of the season.
They do it every year now. I don't know why.
Don't make
Just to get us
sense.
crushed, I guess.
Yeah. You guys started well with a 1-0 over the Bengals, but then nobody expected the
Yeah,
Bengals to
yeah.
be.
Well, turns out the Bengals just are a crap team.
Yep. And the Jets are also a crap team this year too.
Yeah, Rodgers ruined that team. It's
Yep.
his attitude. That's just
Oh
the
yeah,
reality. Like he's a
definitely.
terrible guy.
Yeah.
He's just
Um,
toxic.
do you think you'll beat the Colts this week?
No. They have a chance if they don't let Anthony Richardson run out of the pocket. That's basically got to be the game plan. You got to keep him in the pocket, make him try to play on script instead of off script, and
Mhm.
then you got a chance. But I don't know. The offensive line is so bad. Like any defensive line just dominates the offensive line. It's crazy. They can't run the ball, can't pass protect. Drake May's running for his life.
Mhm.
I don't know why every team just doesn't put a quarterback spy on every play.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would do if I was playing New England.
Wow, you guys got a late bye week this year, week 14. Jeez,
Yeah, we got the latest one.
that's nuts.
I think it's after the Colts game.
Yeah, it's just after the Colts game, week 14. Yep.
Yep.
Uh, oh well, we got Arizona after that.
Okay, yeah, we play the Cardinals. Kyler
Yep.
Murray's gonna destroy us. So
Yeah, he's actually what is it? I think they said 6-0 since the new Call of Duty's come out. So
yep,
doing pretty good for
he
them.
was he was a guy that kind of didn't impress at first, but actually became a good quarterback. So
Yeah, definitely. You're at Buffalo the week after that.
yep, we got no chance. Josh Allen's probably the MVP this year. It's either him or what, Jared Goff maybe.
I would. I mean, I think. See, and not just because I'm an Eagles fan, but I feel like it should go to running back. I feel like should go to Saquon just because the way he's been
Yeah, I
playing.
mean Saquon is ridiculous. Like he should be in the conversation. I would give it to him honestly. I
Yeah.
mean the guy is amazing,
Did you see
but
the?
they always give it to a quarterback.
Yeah, that was the bad thing. Did you see the reverse hurdle?
Yeah, it's
Craziest play I've ever seen in my life.
I can't believe the Giants let him go. What were you thinking? Like dumpster fire organization.
That definitely. Um, yeah, you play the Chargers after that.
No chance.
And then you end at Buffalo at home, which if they're resting their starters, you may get a win on that one.
Yeah, well, they may gift us one, but that depends on if Kansas City starts losing. Like I keep thinking, can't like their luck can't last forever. The way they're winning games is just insane to me. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe they figure it out again in the playoffs, but I mean, their tackle play is almost as bad as ours.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they
I
pretty
just
bad.
don't see it.
Now, do you like Drake May as a starter, or do you feel like he's kind of overrated right now?
No, I mean I like him, but I'm worried about bad habits because of the pressure that's constantly in his face. I mean, that pick he threw
Hmm.
was an inexcusable interception. Just take the sack. The play is dead. Like, a guy literally came in unblocked because your right tackle is an idiot and doesn't know how to play. Your left tackle is not much better.
Hmm.
You have Ben Johnson who can't block anybody at center. I mean, anytime that a stunt is run on this team or
Hmm.
a twist or anything, the line is just completely confused. They don't know how to pass off players.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. Uh, I mean, Devontae Jacobs just like lets people go. He reminds me of who was the guy on the Giants? Eric Flowers, just
Hmm.
like letting guys go in. It's crazy. Like, I know Devontae Jacobs was not the plan,
Hmm.
but the plan was crazy. Like, the plan was Chooks Okorafor, who has mental health problems. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to the guy for having mental health problems, but that was well documented. You should have known that you can't rely on him.
Hmm.
And that was your plan?
Hmm.
Like, that's crazy.
Now,
It's no wonder they're in this situation.
true. Now, do you feel like the head coach is going to be around for a few more years, or do you think they'll kind of make a
Yeah, they're not
change?
going to fire him.
Yeah.
The only guy I could see getting fired is Covington because the defense has regressed so much.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, Drake's basically trying to play hero ball.
Yeah.
And I just don't, that's not sustainable. Like, you can't have a 22-year-old rookie quarterback carrying your team.
Yep.
And that's my biggest concern right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, their offense got better with him, for
Hmm.
sure. And, you live and die with the turnovers.
Right.
And a lot of the turnovers aren't really hit. Like, I don't put every fumble on him, but the
Hmm.
one where he's just waving the ball around, like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. That's a bad habit. When
Yeah.
he's bailing out of clean pockets, don't do that.
Hmm.
I know he doesn't have one very often, but
Yeah.
he's developing some bad habits that I'm getting concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially.
Supposedly they're working on it, but
Hmm. Especially when you've been sacked 21 times. I mean, that's not
yeah.
really your fault at
But
that
he's
point.
got the potential to be like a top 3 quarterback. Like, he
Hmm.
has Josh Allen talent.
Yeah.
So, that's impressive. I mean, that fourth down touchdown he made in the Miami game was impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that is Josh Allen like. So, if he just turns, stops the bad turnovers,
Hmm.
it at least gets to Josh Allen level. Because Josh Allen has the occasional turnover that's just mind blowingly dumb,
Yeah.
but he doesn't do it like every game anymore. So, if we can get to that, I'll be happy. But
Yeah.
I'm obviously not expecting that right now because they have no line. And they have no
Hmm.
receivers either.
Yeah.
Like, who's he throwing to?
Yeah.
Hunter Henry? The only good one? I
Yeah.
mean, I guess Pop Douglas, but I mean, would you take Pop Douglas as a starter on your team? I
No.
don't think I would.
No.
And I like Pop, but he's like a number 3 slot receiver, and he's your best guy. So
Yeah.
they just
Yeah. Because
it's their own fault.
you got what your his. I mean, it's wide receivers that you're throwing to Demario Douglas, Keyshawn
Osborne,
Boone, yeah, and Kendrick Boone or Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yep. And
I
Hunter
mean,
Henry.
Bourne's a good, Bourne's okay. He's probably a number 2 or number 3, but that's not
Yeah.
good enough. I mean, Jalen Polk's the worst wide
Hmm.
receiver I've seen play. Just crazy bad.
Yeah.
Can't even line up. Javon Baker apparently can't line up. Now maybe they'll get better in year 2, but we've kind of been through this with wide receivers where they just never get better.
Yep.
And yeah,
I don't know. That was a weird hiccup just now. Edit
I
that out.
mentioned Kansas City, so it was their black magic that they
I
used to
yeah.
win games.
That'd be a perfect timing for that. Yeah. Go ahead. I forget what you were saying just now, but that threw me
Oh,
off.
it, just their receiver development's been terrible. I mean, that's
Hmm.
really what it comes down to. And look, I'm really disappointed in Elliott Wolf. If I was going to have somebody fired, it would be him. Because you knew you had basically 3 holes that you had to fill.
Yep.
Wide receiver, offensive line, mainly tackles, both tackles,
Hmm.
and wide receiver. And they filled quarterback. Congratulations. You were picking number 3. You might have ended up basically with a number 1 pick at number 3 because the year was weird. There were
Yeah.
3 number 1 quarterbacks, which is very unusual.
Yep.
So you got lucky.
Yeah.
But then you
Yeah.
didn't draft a good tackle or a good wide receiver.
Yep.
I mean, you should have traded into the back half of the first round to get one of those elite tackles because there were a
Hmm.
ton of them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there was a lot of talent in this NFL draft for tackles and um, I mean, kind of wide, couple wide receivers, but not anybody that you know.
I mean, they could
Well,
have picked Mitchell, I guess,
yeah.
but he's such a behavioral problem that they didn't want to risk it. But honestly, I probably would have just risked it
Hmm.
because you pick Jalen Polk, you obviously reached.
Right. Yep, definitely.
I
Yep.
mean, the thing with Polk is he's supposed to have a high floor. Well, his high floor is really low right now,
Hmm.
so that's problematic.
Definitely. Yeah, I was looking at your defense actually,
The
and
defense has been really disappointing.
yeah, the only guy I recognize really the names. I mean, I'm going about for names. I mean, there's I haven't been watching
Gonzalez is
much
good.
Patriots, but Jabril Peppers is the only one I really recognize, and
Yeah,
he's
he suspended actually. He's not
yeah.
hurt. He got suspended for an assault charge, I guess. But I
Hmm.
guess he's being unsuspended, so I don't know the details on it, but I guess he must be getting exonerated or something because he just got off the list.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, 3 hours ago, he's questionable play against the Colts on Sunday due to a knee injury too. So
Oh, he got injured somehow.
yeah,
I
apparently.
don't know how he's been suspended, but
Uh, yeah, he's a Michigan man, so he
he
played.
must have gotten hurt in practice or something. I
Probably.
haven't done
Yeah.
my preview video yet.
Me neither. I haven't looked at anybody from
In
any
any injury
injuries.
list.
Yeah, I've just kind of been looking through. Um, now there is
I
uh
mean, Christian Gonzalez is good.
yeah, I've seen a little bit of him. I haven't really watched enough
Shutdown corner,
to
he's really good.
yeah. Um, I haven't kept track of a lot of the AFC. I've been kind of watching more of the NFC just because of the way the Lions and the Eagles have playing. It's
Yeah,
been
the Lions are. I
so
think they're
but
winning the Super Bowl, man. They're
um
so good.
yeah. Yeah, I was actually about to ask you who do you think the favorites are for the AFC AFC Championship game?
Buffalo. I think Buffalo. Josh Allen's just playing out of his mind. I, Kansas City just concerns me
Hmm.
with their offensive line being as bad as it is because it is bad. It is really bad,
Yeah.
and they're winning these games against bad teams by the skin of their teeth. Like they should
Hmm.
have lost to the Broncos. They should have lost to the Raiders.
Hmm.
I think they won 14 straight, or 14 one-score games. That is not sustainable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Other
They
than
remind me
the
of, was it
Good.
the 22 Vikings that lost to the Giants?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah, they were like the same thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens to the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe they figure it out though. They figured it out last year, but who
Hmm.
knows? They
Yeah.
confuse me.
Yeah, the last three games. Well, we'll go back. We'll say last was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say last 6 games. They only beat the Raiders by 7, 27-20. Beat the Bucks by 6, 30-24. Beat the Broncos by 2, 16-14. Lost to the Bills by 9. Barely beat the
Yeah, they were done
Panthers
on a
30.
two-score game there.
Yeah. Barely beat the Panthers 30-27, then barely beat the
That's
Raiders
crazy.
today 19-17. So,
Yeah, it's crazy. The Panthers game was just crazy.
yeah. They still got a pretty good schedule coming up for them. They got the Chargers, the Browns, the Texans, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So,
I mean, the Browns aren't too good, but the Texans, like, are they going to
uh,
beat the Texans playing like that?
not
Or
right
even the
now.
Chargers? Or who's the other team they
Steelers.
play that's good? The Steelers is
Steelers.
good.
Yeah.
Not offensively, but their defense is really good. They
Hmm.
can win a low-scoring game like that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of talent that Kansas City has a lot of talent that they shouldn't be playing that bad to
Yeah,
teams. I
Chris
mean,
Jones has been. I mean, he got ran over against the Panthers.
mhm.
Just crazy. I've never seen him play that poorly.
Yeah, I mean, just on the offense alone, they have Patrick Mahomes, Pacheco, Kareem Hunt's his backup. They have
Yep,
DeAndre Hopkins, who's
he's
up
not
there
what
in
he used to
age.
be, but
Yeah,
he's still a decent receiver.
yep. Xavier Worthy,
Who's
that guy's so
awful.
fast.
That guy's fast, but he is like a not a good receiver.
Yeah.
He has no idea where his feet are. He runs terrible routes.
Yep. Juju Smith-Schuster, who they picked up basically because Hollywood Brown got injured.
Yep. Schuster
Tra
used to be good, but he
yeah,
kind of has knee issues.
yep. Travis Kelsey, who's
Old.
yeah, still probably one of the top five tight ends in the league
Still
because not
still
many
pretty
people use
good,
him.
but
Yeah,
he gets like all the focus now because he's their only good option,
yep, yep. But I
and
mean, they
he's gotten old to begin with, so it's kind of a double whammy.
yeah, definitely. Um, who do you think is a sleeper team right now? If like a team that nobody's really looking at.
Probably Pittsburgh because their offense is so bad. I don't think anybody thinks they're gonna have any real chance. But their defense
Hmm.
is so good, and Mike Tomlin is such a good coach. Like he's a
Yeah,
really good coach.
it's annoyingly good. Like he hasn't had a losing season yet.
His floor is 10 wins. It's crazy. Even
Yeah.
Bill wasn't like that floor.
Yep. I guess we'll find out though. I mean, they've had
I
some
mean,
decent quarterback. I mean, well, they even had a
maybe
terrible quarterback last year, and they still end up above 500.
I mean if like a 10-win team could be a sleeper. If I had to pick another team, probably the
Hmm.
Denver Broncos, just because they've gotten so much out of Bo Nix. Crazy.
Yeah, Bo was
They're a good team.
surprising. Yeah. He's but he
I'm
Bo
impressed.
Nix was Bo Nix was in the or the NCAA for like ever. It was crazy. I think he was let's see, he's 24 now, but it feels like he was in the league or in the
Yeah,
NCAA for like ever. Oh look, I didn't know
but
he was
I
Wilson.
wouldn't want to play either team in the playoffs.
Yeah, no. I think if it came down, I think in the AFC, if AFC Championship game, I think it's gonna be the Chiefs and the Bills, just because I think right now, let's see, the Bills be playing the Broncos, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing the Chargers. If the playoffs start now, Texans will be playing the Ravens. I think Texans could
Okay.
beat the Ravens.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so too.
but yeah, I definitely
Probably
think
a
it'll be
50-50 game.
yeah. I definitely think it'll be Bills and Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And
I think
NFC,
the Bills get over the hump.
yeah, I think NFC is definitely Eagles and Lions. I feel like those two teams, and for
They're in a class of
but
their own.
yep, definitely. Like you got Eagles got so much talent in the offense. The Lions have a lot of talent in offense.
I got Jared
Eagles,
Goff playing like MVP.
yeah,
I mean, he's amazing.
yep. Eagles just on offense, just for their name: Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown,
Yep.
Devontae Smith, Johan Dotson, who Jalen definitely needs to get the ball to him more because I think he could
Yeah.
be a very good talented three. Do you remember Jason Avant?
No.
He was an Eagles player. He was like kind of like your version, the Patriots
Like a slot.
Danny Amendola, where he was there.
Yeah.
He could be like the third down wide receiver that would catch everything. That's
Possession guy.
basically, yep, that's basically what Jason Vaughn is. And they could use Jahan Dotson to be that guy, but they just haven't yet. And then you
Yeah.
have obviously Dallas Goddard at tight end,
Okay.
but
Yeah, he's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, they
So,
got,
very good player.
but they got a lot. I mean, there's a lot. I feel like those two teams in the NFC are so far above everybody else that's gonna
I
come
mean,
out
the
of the
Lions
East.
have lost players, and it's like it hasn't mattered at all.
Yeah. Yeah, Lions. And they've got the Lions. The one thing the Lions have also avoided a lot of has been the injury bug on offense.
Yep.
Um, Jared Goff, David Montgomery, who's David Montgomery's been playing forever. He played for the Bears for so many years. Um, yeah, he's 27. He has been in the league since 2019, so
Their offensive line is so good on the Lions.
it is very
Just
good. Yeah.
elite talent all
Yep.
around. Not a single weakness on it.
Yeah. Decker, Glasgow,
You imagine if
Ragnow.
Saquon was on the Lions?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Laporta's pretty good tight end for the
Yeah.
Lions. Um, I guess we'll see what happens this year though. But
They're just a well-rounded team.
definitely they easily could have lost the line or the Bears just because, but the Bears kind of bared.
But that was a weird, fluky game.
Yeah.
And, it's a trap game. That
Yep.
happens. But it shouldn't happen, like, every week, too. And it seems like for the
Oh no.
Kansas City Chiefs, it's, like, every week.
Yep.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Usually you get, like, one of those unexpected games this season, maybe two of
Mm-hmm.
them. But usually
Yeah.
it's like a kick in the butt, and then you just roll over your next week's opponent.
Yep. And that's one team that I'm actually a lot of people are surprised about, but I was like, yeah, they've avoided the injury bug too much was the 49ers. they
They're
had a lot of
it's not
talent.
their fault that they're bad.
Yeah,
It's through no fault of their own, just too much.
no,
They're also in a really bad situation because, unfortunately, because Brock Purdy's a 7th round pick, they have to pay him this year.
yeah, isn't that nuts? They're
Yeah,
gonna be
because
paying.
he doesn't have that extra option.
Mhm. Yeah, like this year, the 49ers have lost Brock Purdy for a couple games. They've lost Christian
Yep,
McCaffrey for half a season almost. Uh,
it's crazy. I mean, they lost Ayuk after
yeah,
he was done whining, but he came
yep.
back and got hurt.
And then
Um,
Debo was hurt for a couple weeks.
Devo,
Kittle was hurt.
Kittle was hurt.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
they're
this,
just. I mean, they could still technically make the playoffs, but it would be very hard.
yeah, they would need. They're 5-6 right now. They would have to. I feel like they have to win that division to
Yeah,
make the
they do.
playoffs because there's no. I mean,
The NFC is stronger than the AFC this year.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Because even let's say they end up, they're 5-6 right now. They would have
Even if they
Washington
win
seven
out,
and five, yeah,
they would
and
have what 10 wins
yeah,
if
they
they
would
win out.
have 10 wins and 6 losses. So we'll see, I guess. But then the Rams, if the Rams win out, they would have the tiebreaker over San Francisco anyway because of
Yep.
based on head-to-head win percentage. So they have to have at least the Rams lose one.
Yeah, I just don't see them making it, unfortunately. And then they're gonna have to decide what to do with Purdy in the offseason. I mean,
Yep,
you can't let him go, right? You gotta pay him because he's
yeah,
top 10 quarterback,
yep, definitely,
which is just crazy that the last pick in the draft is a top 10 quarterback. But shows how little the scouts know. I mean, Brady was in the 6th round.
yeah.
I mean,
Right. Oh, go ahead.
no, I mean like Mahomes was later on in the 1st round. He wasn't the first pick.
Right. Yeah, he was. I think he
Lamar
was.
was he was 10th, I think.
Yeah,
Lamar was what 27, something like late in the 1st round.
yeah,
Just
he was.
crazy.
Yep. Right now, because Gino hasn't played yet, Lamar is leading the offense or the
Yep.
league in yards. So pretty
Gino's
impressive.
Gino's impressed me, frankly. He's totally turned his career around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but there's not many. I mean, even like Geno Smith has 3,000 yards, and he has. I mean, just looking at the top five. I mean, you have Jamar Chase for Cincinnati, but that's always Joe Burrow's go-to guy.
Yep.
Justin Jefferson, C.D. Lamb, Terry McLaurin, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. None of those players Geno Smith throws to. So,
Yeah.
um, and then it's crazy how the rushing yards are. So Saquon's first with 1392, and Derrick Henry's
Probably
with
way ahead of everybody.
1325 right now. So those two are
Yeah.
number one and number two. After that, the next guy doesn't even have 1,000 yards yet.
Not surprised. Those are the two best running backs in the league by like a mile. It's not
Four,
close.
400, almost 400 yards from, you know, ahead of third place, which is
You
nuts.
could literally build a team around. In fact, they have been like
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had an entire team built around him.
Yep.
He's like the only player in the league that's a running back that's had that happen.
Definitely.
That's not
Um.
like usually you build around a quarterback. Tennessee built around a running back, and they
hmm
actually won some playoff games like that.
Definitely. And you could see, like, with the Eagles, you could see, like, what Saquon or what offensive line does for a running
Yeah,
back. It's like,
yeah, it's
uh,
crazy.
DeAndre Swift last year hadn't had a 1,000 yard rushing, game for the Lions, but the Lions have been also injured a lot with their offensive
Yep.
line last couple of years. I mean, he got over 1,000 yards last year, and then you look at Saquon this year with 1,300 yards. He might, he would? I think he needs to average like 101 yards or something like that to hit 2,000 for the year.
I mean, it's
Which,
possible. Like he could literally hit that.
yeah,
I don't know if he will, but he'll definitely get close.
oh, definitely, yeah. I think if they play the way they keep playing with Saquon, then they definitely
Especially if he
could.
gets another, 250 rushing yard game.
Yep. Yeah.
You think you'd just put all 11 players in the box?
hmm At that point, you might as well. But then at the same time, who's gonna like they were saying on ESPN the other day? Who's gonna if they try and stop the run? They're killed
Yeah,
by
there's too many
AJ
receivers.
Brown, Devontae Smith. It's like there's no way.
I don't even know if you could. Like
Yeah.
you put 8 guys in the box. I think Saquon's still gonna run on you because of the
hmm
line on the Eagles is so good.
Yep. The only weakness I feel like we have, and just because he hasn't been playing as much, is Cam Jurgens at center. I feel like Kelsey was a better center because he actually
Yeah,
knew what he was.
retired unfortunately.
Yeah. which I was
I,
kind of I was hoping as an Eagles fan that he was gonna come back for one more year to block for Saquon because that'd been crazy, and then the tush push hasn't
yeah,
been as good, but that's
yeah.
understandable, I guess.
Well, I mean, they keep talking about banning it every once in a while, so
Yep.
it's just silly to me. Like the Eagles are the only team that really ran it successfully. Other teams
Yeah.
tried. It's not
Hmm.
as easy as it looks. They
Yep.
just made it look easy.
Yeah, especially I mean when your quarterback can bench press 600 pounds. I mean
Yeah,
that's
that's what you
definitely gonna
need.
help. Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
like banning the sneak because Tom Brady was too good at it.
Yep. Yep. And then they got like banning Mike Vick from running because his legs were too fast and
Yeah,
fast everybody else was.
I mean they banned. A lot of times they do. They ban something that works too well, like jumping over on a field goal.
Yep.
Jamie Collins like, invented that, and then it worked basically every time. She's like, all right, no, we're banning that.
Yep. But yeah, it's crazy the amount of stuff that they will ban from NFL just because it's a no
Yeah,
fun
can't
league at this point.
can't overload the line on a field goal anymore.
Hmm.
Can't use any bit of leverage. I mean,
Yep.
now they got the weird kickoff rule,
Yep.
which didn't solve anything because everybody's still touchbacks. So
Yep.
what was the point?
Yeah. And I hate the new rule with the onside kick where you have to announce you're going for onside
Declare it.
kick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would prefer they just do a thing where you get a 4th and 15 once a game,
Yeah.
whenever you want it.
Yeah, because like I don't remember if you remember watching the Super Bowl with the Colts and the Saints, like
Yep,
10 years ago, where they started second half with the onside kick.
a
And,
surprise one.
yep, and that was totally the change in the game, and they just kept going from there. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
all gone
impressive.
now.
Yep. Yeah, now they can't do that. Um, so we are the other reason I had you on was actually talk about your YouTube slash Twitch career because I know you've been doing it for a while, like I
Yep.
said. Did you see Twitch and YouTube as something that you wanted to do, or is it kind of like you just kind of fell into it after watching H.C. Bailey and you're like, you know what, I can try this and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I started on YouTube after watching H.C. Bailey, and I figured I can try this, and I picked up Earthbound and Let's Played it
Hmm.
with my crappy quality. I mean, these days my quality's good. At least I think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to try it because I
Yeah.
had a lot of time. I think I was in college at the time, but I had a lot more free time, so
Hmm.
I figured I'd do Let's Playing. And Twitch, I don't even remember how I got into Twitch because I wasn't live streaming initially.
Hmm.
That's a more recent thing. I think I started what 4 or 5 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, I think my wife introduced me to it, and
Okay.
I decided to stick with it. Streaming's fun because it's a lot less work.
Yeah.
Just set up and go, and you get to interact a bit more interactions with people. So I really like it.
You feel like you're actually talking to somebody instead of talking to yourself.
Yeah, yeah, it does feel like I'm talking to myself when I'm doing Let's Plays. I mean, I guess I kind of am, but
Right. Do you did you kind of like when you got done with their balance, you're like, this is a lot more work than I expected.
yeah, I put a lot of work into my Let's Plays,
Hmm.
which is why I've slowed down on doing them. They take a long time.
Hmm.
I
Is there
I, I take notes and everything, so
what is there because everybody has their big LP that they want to do or have done in the past that like they did a lot of notes and did a lot of work on like
Wild
for
Arms
example,
3 was like my big one.
yeah, your cum de gras or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I still have
Now,
a 300-page walkthrough that I wrote for
do
myself.
you have now I know my favorite character is in Wild Arms 3. Who's your favorite character from Wild Arms 3?
Probably Virginia.
Oh, okay. See, I was always a Clive guy. I just something
I mean,
about
I like Clive too. It's
yeah.
just, I mean, that was a time when there just wasn't a lot of female main characters.
Hmm.
So, and I like her personality and her character and her
Yeah.
arc.
I think the only other female lead at that point was probably Yuna from Final Fantasy X2.
Yeah, I forget. Did Bottom Stick come out before FF10?
I don't know. FF10 came out in 2001. FFX2, I think, came out in 2003. Let's see.
I mean, Samus is obviously like the big female lead that's in a that existed before.
Yep. FFX. X2 came out in 2003 on in America November 18th.
Okay. I
Wild Arms 3. Look at me doing this on
think
the
it's
fly.
2001. See if I'm right.
Wild Arms 3 was released in North America in 2002, October 15th, 2002.
Close.
So, what was that about
I
almost over a year between the whatever. But I feel like that was one of the main problems too, is when Wild Arms 3 came out, because it didn't get as much fanfare as um
No, I didn't.
Final Fantasy and all
But
that stuff.
but I just love when Virginia just forces Jet to just join the team. And he's like, I
Right?
don't want to do this. It's like, yeah, but you are.
Right?
My favorite moment is when he's like, I'm a loner. I'm gonna do all this on my own. It's like, oh really? What did you accomplish on your own? He just has no answer.
Right?
Because the answer's nothing.
Would you? Yeah.
And he just like responds with, shut up, basically.
Yep. The four main characters in Wild Arms 3, for anybody that's not played it, was Jet, Virginia, Gallows, and Clive.
Yeah, Clive is interesting because he's like a married man. He's like a 32-year-old sniper.
Yep.
And he has a wife and daughter, and it was so unusual. He's probably
Hmm.
my second favorite character in the game
Yeah.
because of that.
Now, how many JRPGs would you say you played in your time?
Total? Uh, I mean, I don't know, like probably 50 of them. A
Okay.
lot.
Yeah. Is that your favorite genre, would you say?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is
I've
that
played like almost all the Final Fantasy games, all the
mm,
Wild Arms games. I've played a ton of Atelier games now at this point. Uh, what other series have I played? Tales of. I played pretty much
mm,
all of them. I even played some fan translation of Tales of Fantasia.
okay.
I've played obviously Trails
Yeah.
or Kiseki in Japan.
Yeah.
Um, a lot,
Yeah.
probably over 50 of them. Might even
Um
be closer to 100.
yeah, yeah, my actually one of my favorite RPGs of all time is and one of my favorite games of all time is a
Yeah,
JRPG, so
I mean, I've gotten back to I went back to the Sega Master System and beat Phantasy Star 1. So it's
yeah,
actually a pretty good game.
yeah, I actually am trying to buy. I grew up on, well, all right. So when I was getting up in age, so I was born in '90, so I'm older than a lot of the consoles, which makes me feel sort of depressed.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in '88, so
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I'm older than the 64. I'm older than the Super
yep.
Nintendo. What's going on? But I remember watching what was the game that came that it just blew my mind when it came out was well, all right, so it came out later on in life, but it was like one of those games that was the first time that I had seen people, blowing up through walls and stuff like that. It was like the first kind creation, but Red Faction for the PS2. It was also on the
Ah,
PC, and it was just like the first time that you could blow through walls and make, holes and stuff. You could change the way you ran through a level and stuff like that, and it was the
I
coolest
mean,
thing ever.
the funny thing is, like, I've never played Red Faction. I
Oh,
know its name because it is in Summoner 2 has a joke like interview with the main characters where they talk about Red Faction and it's so weird and random. Just like the main character of that game is just talking about playing Red Faction. I'm like, this is so weird.
Red Faction is a great game if you ever get a chance to play, and it's actually really cheap,
Yeah.
and it's on PlayStation Network now, I believe.
Yep.
So,
It's like like in Summoner they did like a joke thing where the characters are playing D&D after the credits. It is hilarious.
I
It's a good
um
game.
I actually saw Summoner today, and I thought about picking it up, but I don't have my PS2 with me. It's still in Michigan, which is sad, and
Yeah.
I'm
It's sad. It's a
not.
good game. I mean, it's a launch title, so,
Yeah,
buggy as heck, but a good game.
yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy X was almost a launch title at that point because it came out in
Yeah. Of
2001. So,
course, it had a AAA budget, so
yeah, yeah. Square figured out what they were gonna do when the PS2 came out, but
yeah, I mean, these days they're having, yeah, unrealistic sales expectations, so
yeah. Now, is there an RPG in the past that you've LP'd that you would love to see like a remake of?
uh probably Earthbound.
Mm, okay.
Just because it's such a weird game.
Yeah.
I mean, weird in a good way, but
Mhm.
it is such a weird game. I wish more people would be able to experience it.
Yeah. It's so expensive nowadays, though, with the
I
way
mean, yeah, that
on
too. But
physical, I
I mean,
mean.
I guess Chrono Trigger too. I would really love to see a proper remake, not like a DS port, like a proper remake, a 2.5 HD remake is what I want to
Mm,
say. Because
mm,
I mean, I picked up the Star Ocean Second Story remake. That
hmm
game is amazing. It is fantastic. It's like the best remake I've ever played.
Yeah.
That game is awesome.
Do you like what they did with the Final Fantasy 1 through like 6 where they did the pixel remasters?
Yeah, I have them. They're good. I have a physical copy of them
Oh,
on
yeah.
the PlayStation 5. They're good.
Final Fantasy 4 is one of the best RPGs of all time,
Yep,
and
I love FF4.
it was well, when I was growing up, when Ryzen
It was
2,
FF2.
yeah, it was weird. We got FF2, we got FF1 too, right? But it
Yep,
wasn't F,
FF1,
and then we got
FF1,
FF2.
FF2, which was FF4,
Yep.
and then FF3 is FF6.
Yep. And it was
So,
so good.
and then the PlayStation came out, and all of a sudden FF7 was in, and everybody's like, "What the heck happened to 4, 5, and 6?"
Yep.
Where they're like, "Well, we're just gonna call it FF7 to avoid confusion."
Yep.
Great job, Square. No
Yep.
confusion here.
Yep. And then all of a sudden they went, you know what, we're gonna go back in time and let's do the origins. We'll do the
Yep,
anthology, which was one Final Fantasy game, and then Final
yep,
Fantasy Tactics, I think, was on that one.
yes.
And then they had Chronicles, which came out, which was uh
Crystal Chronicles.
no, the
Oh
other
no,
base
that was
one.
Chrono Trigger, and FF4
Yeah,
was
which was
on Final Fantasy
weird.
Chronicles. It was a terrible version of Chrono Trigger.
I've
Like
heard
the it had load times. It was terrible.
I've heard that that PlayStation version of Chrono Trigger is the worst one not to play that. I've
It's
heard
a horrible port.
yeah, actually heard the DS is the best version just because they changed they did a lot of the fixes
Yeah.
with the
Yes, the DS version is
ports and
good.
stuff.
Funny thing is, on Chronicles, the FF4 version on there is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just Chrono Trigger that suffers from just bizarre load times.
Yep. Now I played the SNES version of Final Fantasy 4 and then the PSP version. The PSP version is amazing. They added so
Yeah,
much stuff to
complete
that.
collection.
Yes, it's so good for people who want to play Final Fantasy 4. I would say get the PSP version.
Yeah, I mean, you get the after years and interlude. I
Yep.
mean, I know a lot of people trash the after years. I don't know. I think it's a good game,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm in the minority on that.
Yep. Now, did you because I know like at that point SNES came out, then and 64 came out. Did you switch more to PlayStation one after the SNES, or were you
I had
still
both,
okay? More of the
although I didn't really use my 64 as much. My 64 was basically my WWF No Mercy game, my
yep.
No Mercy console, and GoldenEye,
Oh yeah.
which I never beat as a kid. So believe it or not, I went to a retro game store. I bought a Nintendo 64 and I bought GoldenEye to beat it on Double O Agent, and I actually did it.
Nice.
I wish I would have streamed it, but I did beat it on Double O Agent. I did not get all the cheats, but I did beat it.
Yeah.
It is a brutally hard game on Double O
hmm
Agent.
Yeah.
Really good game,
I
but brutally
actually
hard.
bought the rare replay because I was like I'm gonna try because I was like there's a lot of games on there I haven't played, I'm gonna test it out, and then they came out with GoldenEye if you had the rare replay, so
Yep.
you could I'm like
It's
oh
it's a little easier on like the Xbox because I guess you can move
yeah
while you're aiming.
yep
You can't do that on the
dual sticks
64.
yeah yep
It's actually amazing how well GoldenEye controls
yeah
on the N64, despite only having one analog stick.
yeah definitely I am probably in the well I mean I think a lot of people probably feel the same way, but I always thought that Perfect Dark was better than GoldenEye, but that's also because it came out later too.
I like Perfect Dark as well. I like it as much as I like GoldenEye. It had the better multiplayer.
Definitely. Yeah,
I
Perfect
just
Dark
like the
Zero is
campaign better
terrible.
in GoldenEye
Yeah.
because Perfect Dark gets really weird in
hmm
its campaign.
Aliens
But
all of a
the
sudden.
gameplay is good. Yeah, it gets really weird. It like comes out of nowhere, just like,
hmm
hey, aliens. It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
All right.
sure, okay.
Yeah.
But the
Yep.
game is fun, so
Yeah.
especially if you're playing multiplayer with friends.
Oh
Even
yeah.
without friends, you got the bots. It's so good. It's fun.
Yeah. The bots were really good. The one character I think everybody hated in multiplayer was Oddjob from GoldenEye. Oh.
Oh yeah, it was like cheating. There was you
Yeah.
just ban it from. You just have to ban them.
Yep.
because he was like shorter.
Yeah, he was.
Didn't he have like an instant kill hat too?
Yep, yep. They had the golden gun and the hat that he threw. So yeah, it was nuts. Now, did you did you? Is there any games that you like to go back to that you missed like growing up? You're like, man, I wish I had that.
That I missed.
Yeah, like you looking back now,
Terra
you're like,
Enigma, I guess, because it never came out here. I'd like to actually play through that whole game.
okay.
I've dabbled in it, but I'd like to actually play it properly
Hmm. That makes sense.
because it looks like a really good game.
Do
I
you have
have a
like?
Super Famicom version of it, but I
Mm.
have to actually, well, Super Nintendo version of it. I forgot. It's not a Japanese game. It came out in Europe. I have a European copy.
Oh, okay. Do you have a holy grail that you would like to get, like purchase yourself? Like if you found it like complete in box or something like that for, not too expensive. Is there any games that you're like, I need this to buy this or
Just to display.
yeah.
Probably a sealed copy of Chrono Trigger.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
It's, probably one of my favorite JRPGs.
Mm,
I know it. I mean, it is.
yeah.
I don't know if it's number one. It's very close.
Mm.
It's in my top like three.
No, good good spot for it. Yeah, I started the RPGs a little late after Final Fantasy 4 because Final Fantasy 2, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I the first RPG I remember playing through from beginning to end was Legend of Dragoon on the PS1,
Yep.
which was one of my favorite all-time RPGs, and it needs a remake.
It does need a proper remake. I have tried to
Oh,
get my wife to play that game like 1,000 times, and every time she's like, "No." I'm like, why?
what?
It's so good.
It is amazing. It's the character building, finding out. I'm not gonna ruin it for everybody, but there's a lot of plot twists. You're like,
Yep.
what? And then,
It just has such an interesting battle system.
yeah, and yeah, that was the thing that like it came out. What was it, near Final Fantasy 8, I believe, because it was
Yep.
2000, and then Final Fantasy
And
9 came after it.
and that has a terrible battle system.
Yeah,
Or well, the junction system's weird.
yeah, yeah. Final or Legendary Goon had the addition system, which was
Yep.
so much fun. But yeah, they had that, and then Legend of Gaia was another one that I actually played right after that,
Yeah, I
which
have Legend of Gaia. I have not actually played it, but it is on my shelf. I've played Legaia 2, which I've heard is worse.
yeah.
Legaia 1 is supposedly the better game, and
Hmm.
I definitely want to play it one day. I just haven't
Yep.
gotten around to it. There's so many games on my backlog.
Oh,
It's hard to find time to play them all.
do you feel like some of the your backlog you want to do on your LPs, or do you just kind of feel like,
I
I'll
mean,
play when I get to them?
I'm gonna stream games on my backlog. It's really what I
Hmm.
want to do, really.
Makes
I
sense.
mean, I'm streaming Sophie as well right now, Atelier Sophie, a
Hmm.
little bit.
That makes sense. Yeah, I haven't. There's one of the games actually, because of you, actually want to play is Grandia. I
Grandia is
haven't
very good.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't decided. So I've heard like Grandia 2 is way better on the Dreamcast than it was on the PS2. Apparently on the PS2 it had a lot of
It
issues
has
and
frame rate issues. It's
yeah,
still a really good game though, even with
yeah,
that. I played the PS2 version. It's still a good game. You
yeah,
just have to deal with poor frame rate.
yeah. I've seen they had some, I forget who was playing, but they were showing that like the difference between, they were showing the Dreamcast and the PS2 side by side, and they got into a battle. And one part in the PS2 for like a split second was black all the way around the field, and they had like
Yep.
four characters standing in the middle of the blackness, and that was all. I
Yeah.
was like, huh? And then,
Yeah, I mean, I like all the Grandia games,
hmm,
but I know some people don't like 3. It is an unfinished game. It is very clearly an unfinished game.
hmm,
But the actual gameplay mechanics are fun.
yeah. Now, do you play any D&D type games? Like I know, let's see, Baldur's Gate 3 just came out a couple years ago now, and then
Nope, but
obviously,
I might pick it up at some point to try it
mhm,
because it looks. I did watch a stream of it. It looks really good.
yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, technically, I consider that a little
I
D&D
played
game.
that at my friend's house when I was much younger. Coder, as
Hmm.
it's called by short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it with my old friend Rich.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you haven't played KOTOR yet, I would say that is one of the best Xbox RPGs of all time,
Yeah,
easily.
he had it on his PC.
Yep, or PC. Yeah, yeah, PC. It was one of the few
He's a big
Xbox.
PC gamer.
Yeah. Do you play PC more than console, or do you feel you're more
Console
console
more
guy?
than PC. The
Yeah.
only game that I've really played on PC
Mm-hmm.
is Trails in the Sky because that's the only way you can play it.
Mm-hmm.
And Trails in the Sky SC and Trails in the Sky the third. And
Okay.
that's how I streamed them. I streamed them on those three. Okay, I guess that's not true. I played Zero and Azure on the PC with the fan translations,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
we have them now on the PlayStation.
That makes sense. Yeah, the only games I've ever played on PC because I'm terrible at it, and I just got a few more PC games now because they were cheap or free on Steam or Epic
Yes,
Store
Trails
now.
in the Sky is just so cheap on
Yeah.
Steam. It's like $15 for the whole series.
Yep. Yep. I just got or I used to play all the NASCAR racing games on PC because they were
Yep.
the best NASCAR games at that point
I remember
because it was
playing. I
cheap.
think it was what Gran Turismo 4
Hmm.
or 3. I don't know. One of them I played. I was bad.
Yeah. See, they got a lot of the Gran Turismo games are really good compared to Forza. Sorry,
Yeah,
if anybody likes Forza, but I just
I
feel
like
like the
Gran
Gran
Turismo
Turismo games are
better.
better. Yep.
I had more enjoyment with that.
Yep. Now, I can see some pictures in your corner. Is that like
Oh yeah, I have a lot of pictures. I
Sophia and
have I can tell you all the characters I have. I have what you can't see. I have Phoenix Wright over there.
hmm,
I have Fee Classell from Trails. I have Pirate and Mithra from
okay.
Xenoblade and Melia from Xenoblade. I have a
Hmm.
Claudia from Ryza. I have Ryza from Ryza.
Hmm.
I have Velvet and Eleanor from Tales of Berseria. And then over here, I got Estelle, Millium, Altina, Ren, Risha, Yuna, and Muse from Trails, and Toa from Trails. I got Mio and Nia from Xenoblade, and Uni from Xenoblade, and
Hmm.
Senna from Xenoblade, and then Tio from Trails as well. And then I think, I got Magilu
Hmm.
from Tales of Berseria, Kasumi from Persona,
Nice.
and then Sophia, Makoto, An, Futaba from Persona, and Haru from Persona. And that's actually Yuki from Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian, the anime. That's a fantastic anime, by the way.
Hmm.
I actually bought the first book. And then
Okay.
behind me is Renwell from Tales of Arise, Rydia from FF4,
Okay.
and
Yep.
then I have a Radiant Historia art. It's like half rainy,
Hmm.
and then like half like a cover art of the game.
Oh, nice.
And then Ilia from Ilia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian.
Okay.
That's always what's behind me when I'm streaming. I'm like running out of space on my wall.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely need to get some stuff up because, as you can tell, behind me is pretty bland. AC unit, TV.
Yeah, I just figured I'd get something behind me to
Yep.
make it more interesting to look at because I got a
Yeah.
webcam.
Now, you did say Xenoblade Chronicles and Persona, which I feel like are two two LPs, two RPGs that have actually started getting more love now than they used
Yep,
to. Did you originally play the first Xenoblade Chronicles, or did you kind of watch an LP of it and then decide
I
to?
was one of the people that was watching Xenoblade and complaining that it wasn't coming here.
Hmm.
I was following the whole I forget what they call it, but it was that movement to get it was 3 games, right? It was
Hmm.
Last Story,
Hmm.
Pandora's Tower, and Xenoblade
Hmm.
Chronicles.
Hmm.
The only I don't have Pandora's Tower, but I have Last Story and I have Xenoblade Chronicles. I bought them. I pre-ordered both those games through
Hmm.
GameStop because for some reason GameStop bought the rights to localize to bring
Hmm.
the localization here. I don't know why. I mean, basically the games were localized in
Yeah.
European and so it's like European spellings, like it's
Yeah.
Britain
Yeah.
versions, British
Yeah.
versions, and they as soon as they were announced, because I was following this like religiously,
Hmm.
like the petitions, everything. And then as soon as it was announced that GameStop was doing this, I was like, okay, it's weird that it's GameStop. I don't care. I am pre-ordering these games,
Hmm.
except Pandora's Tower, because I wasn't really interested in it. But Last Story and Xenoblade Chronicles, and I think Last Story came first,
Hmm.
and that was a nightmare to get because for some reason GameStop had a delivery issue with this game
Oh.
all across the country,
Yeah.
and I kept going there. I'm like, okay, the games came out like Friday. Yeah, we don't have it. Okay, I gotta go back the next day. Yeah, we don't have it. It's like, why don't? What do you mean? We don't know what happened to it. There's some sort of logistical issue. I'm like, okay. Does any store have it? No. I'm like, okay, it's
What?
weird. And they're like, well, it's a pre-order sale on arrival.
Mhm,
So it's like, what does that mean? It means we don't have any other copies. It's only whoever pre-ordered. Like, okay, that's good. I pre-ordered.
mhm.
I think it took like an extra week to get the game. So when Xenoblade came out, I was like, this is gonna happen again, isn't it? But no, Xenoblade just came out with no problems.
Yeah.
But then they started reprinting them later on, like
Mhm.
secretly. I remember this because all of a sudden there were like $70 copies of Xenoblade,
Yep.
like a year later, and everybody's
Mhm.
like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
And it turns out they were literally just reprinting them and pretending that it was like a rare game
Yeah, I remember.
and
So
selling them for used.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was ironic because I did a podcast with Chugga Conroy and we talked about Xenoblade Chronicles because that's his big LP he did, and
Yeah,
ironically, I ended up finding a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles for $40, and
excellent game.
it, I played a little bit of it, and then I moved to Florida, so now I had to wait to get my consoles. But I was telling him, I said, I feel like every time that he did an LP on it, all of a sudden it must have been that same weird time frame because all of a sudden
It
I went back
was
in and it was like 70, $80. I'm like, what in the world?
pre-owned.
Yep. I was like, what in the world happened? Like
And they
somebody's
weren't really pre-owned. They were new prints. What
yeah.
they were doing, where they were just opening the game cases. They were putting them in open game cases
Yep.
after reprinting them, and then selling them as used because GameStop gets 100% of the money for used games.
Yeah.
And because there were very few copies initially released, they were able to pretend that it was a rare game when they
Yeah.
were just reprinting it because technically they had the rights, I guess, to reprint it because they had a sole contract.
Yeah.
They were just not telling anybody these were reprints.
Now, do you think Xenoblade took so long to come over because of how bad Xenosaga did after the first game? Because I know they were made kind of by the same company, but
I think it was a Nintendo of America issue
yeah.
where they just didn't want to localize it. And somehow, some way, there was enough pressure on the petitions that eventually they relented.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was ridiculous. Because you had an English version,
Hmm.
all you had to do was swap PAL to NTSC. That's all you had to do,
Yep.
and they just refused to do it for months and months and months.
Hmm.
But when you think about it, it's actually kind of a blessing in disguise because that's why we have the British accents in Xenoblade as like a thing
Yeah. It was
because that happened.
Yep, it was weird the first time I actually heard that because I was expecting, I hadn't really looked into anything, about the game. I just, was like, all right, I'm gonna check out this new Toga Conroy Let's Play, and all of a sudden it was like English and voice actors. I'm like, that's odd. That doesn't happen very often. And then once I started looking stuff up,
Yeah,
like you said, it was like there's a lot
it
more
was
information I'm
only came out
finding
in
out.
Europe.
Yep. And I was like, huh, that's crazy. And then, more and more information was coming out, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, how often does that happen though, where a petition actually works and gets a
yep.
game over here? Because how many times have people signed? It's like, please just release Mother 3. There's literally a
Hmm.
fan translation you can buy. You can
Yep.
buy the fan translation and release it digitally.
Yep. Yep, yeah, there's multi-millions of fan translations for obviously Legend Dragoon remake. They had a
Yep.
fan that's over a million signatures
I mean,
now,
there's
which is nuts.
the fan translation for Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure are the only ones where the company was like, hey, why don't we just buy the translation from them?
Yeah.
And then we'll use it as a base. We basically don't have to do nearly as much work because it's all like translated.
Yep.
We're gonna change it a little bit, but we have an English base to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's just like free money basically when you release the game. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not doing that much work. It's not a
Yeah.
normal localization.
Yeah, it's not hard to do at that point because I mean all you have to do is just buy it and be like, all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could even be lazier than NIS America was with it and just release the fan translation untouched
Yep.
if you just buy it.
Yeah. Just put your name on it and call it a day.
I mean,
Now,
it's
I
just crazy.
I've been looking because I've been trying to catch. Is that Persona 4 up there that you have? Is that like on the shelf up there? Is that?
On the shelf, that is Trails from Zero.
Okay. I keep looking. I was like,
Do you want me to
and
grab what's up there?
no, I was just looking. I was just kind of, cause I
It's
was looking your
it's
background.
there's Trails to Azure, Trails from Zero, Nyata, and I actually don't know. Oh, I think it's Trinity Trigger. That's what the other
Okay.
one is.
Hmm.
Like a
Now
Secret of Mana game type game.
that isn't where did because I asked other people because my shelves are terrible. Where did you get your nice shelf from? Because that looks really actually
I
nice.
believe Amazon.
Okay.
I ordered it. Well, my
Okay.
wife ordered it. By the way, if you get a tower like that, I will
Hmm.
warn you, it is not an easy assembly.
Okay.
It took about 8 hours.
Ooh.
It
Wow.
is very difficult. The thing spins.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if it.
It has four sides and it spins.
Mm,
So I mean, it holds like I don't know, 400 games or something. A
very
lot.
impressive. Yeah.
It it's like something you'd see in a store,
Hmm. That's the way to do it, I guess.
but it's actually almost full. Believe it or not. There's only one side of it that's empty.
Oh wow. Okay.
It was full. I bought a bookshelf and I put
Yeah.
basically one side of it over on the bookshelf on my left here,
Hmm. Yeah, I
which I
gotta.
guess is right on the camera.
I gotta eventually get a bookshelf because I have so many games and so many movies and so many books and all that stuff that I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I need to find bookshelves. Fair
yeah.
enough.
Shelving is weird because you just never have enough,
Yep.
and it's just like you think you buy something, it's like oh, it's full already.
Yeah.
How's it full?
Yep. Yeah. I the
But
my
that thing's nice because it's basically like four bookshelves in basically the size of one bookshelf.
the problem I keep running into, I don't know if you've had this problem, is like when you have a shelf, all of a sudden like you start put stuff on it, just starts bending. Like
Oh
something's
yeah.
bending.
Well, those ones, the actual shelves aren't
Hmm.
that big.
Hmm.
They're only, probably like this
Yeah.
in length, so they're not gonna break.
Yeah.
And they're actually like insert ones that you can adjust the height of.
Oh yeah, those are I love those. Now, do you have, because I actually am starting now to collect different consoles because I missed, so when I was a kid, I missed basically the whole Sega line from the Master System, Game Gear, Genesis, and the Saturn. I got the
Yeah,
Dreamcast. I don't know
the
how I missed
Genesis was
that.
the only one I had.
Yeah, I got the Dreamcast somehow. I missed everything else. But is there any consoles that you don't own that you're like, man, I'd like to own that console now at this point, just to try out some of the like maybe exclusives that came on the console there. I haven't been
Probably
released anything
the
else.
Dreamcast
Okay.
because I never got the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I never got the Saturn either, but the Dreamcast had like the better version of Grandia.
Yeah. Yeah. Grandia. Yeah. Saturn. I didn't
Eh,
play Saturn.
It's weird, like the Sega consoles got better versions of a lot of games. I think the Saturn got a better version of was it Mega Man 8?
I heard that. Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
extra bosses or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird that the Saturn, like Saturn and Dreamcast for that for like the ports going to another console have done,
They
were
usually got the
worse.
better ones.
Yeah, it's like weird, but yeah,
I think these
PS2.
days Sega's part of Monolith.
Yeah, yep,
A shame
yeah,
that they went out of the console war or
yeah, that,
console business.
yeah, they were really. I mean, the Dreamcast was a great console, way ahead of its time, I think, because I mean,
I mean, I know there's like the Xbox these days, but
mhm,
by all reports, that thing is dying.
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
don't think I think Microsoft is getting out of it soon,
yep.
which is only going to leave Nintendo and Sony, and that really sucks.
And I mean, at this point, Sony has won. I'm sorry, Nintendo people, but Sony has won the basically the console war.
Pretty much. Basically, Nintendo's basically portable now.
Yep.
That's why they basically switched to it.
Yeah. Switch. Doodum.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Switch,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
you know,
The Wii
Sony
U.
is kind of the sole console going forward eventually.
Yeah.
Pure console.
The Wii U walked so the Switch could run, basically.
Yeah, the Wii U flopped hard. I
Yep.
I bought the Wii U specifically for Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yep.
That was not a wise decision.
Nope. Now
I'll
it's
just
coming
say
to
that.
Switch.
Oh God.
Yeah. Now it's coming to Switch, so you don't even need your Wii U no more. No. I actually bought the Wii U guy I got was this Mario Kart 8 Wii
Yep.
U. So I was like, well, that's
I mean,
nice. It's cheap.
I did get the Wii.
Hmm.
I still have the Wii,
Yeah.
but my problem with the Wii is the motion controls.
Oh yeah, they were terrible.
It's well, they actually physically hurt me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I have issues with my hands.
Okay.
Actually, I have CP actually
Okay.
mild, if you can believe that. So it actually like hurts if I do motion controls for a while. So I was like,
Hmm.
I tried Skyward Sword on the Wii, and I was like, I can't do this. Like this is physically uncomfortable.
Hmm. Did you pick it up?
So
What it came to Switch?
yes, I have it on the Switch,
It's.
which is like it's much better.
I've heard that it's better on the Switch than it was on the Wii.
Yeah, the problem with the Wii version is like they motion control everything. Like
Hmm.
like swimming doesn't need to be motion controlled. It's motion controlled.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And
Yep.
what's funny is all the people that defended it were like, everybody's like, just have a separate control scheme so that people can switch to it because there are people with disabilities that
Yep.
cannot play your game. Like,
Yep.
well, no, they can't do it because of the one-to-one swordplay. Oh, it turns out they could just use a right analog stick, like everybody said,
Yep.
which is exactly what they do on the Switch.
Yeah. The one I will say, and people are gonna be shocked at this, but the best Wii game that came out, Epic Mickey. Such a great game. It was so
Yeah, I
good.
never played it.
Oh,
I've seen it. It looked fun.
so good. It shouldn't be as good as it is because it's a Disney, like you're like, all right, Mickey, eh. But it's like it's actually really good. I would say it's definitely my top five
I
best Wii
mean,
games of all time.
my best Wii game is Xenoblade.
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, granted, these days it's on, you know,
Yeah, everything else.
uh, everything else, but
Yep. Yeah, I gotta.
at the time it was Wii exclusive
Yeah, yeah. The
with
Wii.
its awful graphics, but the game was so fun.
Mhm. The Wii had a lot of random games that were exclusives for the Wii, and now it's like, oh,
Yep, that
it's on the
last
PS.
story is
Yeah,
stuck on there forever.
yeah, yep. Not yeah. I gotta get a lot of Wii games, but I also want to get some more PS5 games because there's a lot of new PS5 games out there. I'm like, oh, I need to buy that. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
great game, and what was it? Just came out. Um, oh, I can't think of what just came out. I'll think of it later now after the stream, but
I hate
um,
that when that happens.
oh, I do
It's
too.
like you have a thought and it's just gone.
Yep.
It happens to me all the time. It happens to me so bad. I
Hmm.
will go into a room. I'm like, all right, I'm going to the kitchen to grab what what the hell am I grabbing?
Yep.
I don't know. I guess nothing. And I go back. I'm like, oh, I was going to get like a soda or a water,
Yep.
and I'm like, now I gotta go back and go get it.
It's like you got Sims where you all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're not going in there no more for that reason or
Yeah,
whatever. But now,
yeah. Thing.
did you ever play because I like we were saying we both are big RPG guys. Did you ever play Dark Cloud 2 or Dark Cloud?
I have it.
Mm,
I beat both of them.
yeah. The what
Second game is much better than the first.
definitely. Did you what okay, so I got stuck on the final boss because I went the wrong. So anybody that's played Dark Cloud, you basically power up your weapons. You can
Went the wrong
evolve them, I
path.
guess. Yeah. So I ended up getting the wrong gun at the end because apparently you needed to shoot the four different color orbs, whatever in the last
Yeah, Dark
boss.
Cloud 1 is weird because there's basically there's two different lines I think for each weapon,
Yeah.
but one is like a crappy line.
Hmm.
And it's just like bad stats.
Yep. Yep.
So if you just happen to go down that one, if you didn't know,
Hmm.
you were in a lot of trouble. I actually beat the game largely ignoring the upgrade system. I just used the Sun Sword they gave you,
Yeah.
and then one of the guns they gave you, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was not easy. The final boss is really hard in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark Hamill voices
Dark
the
Cloud,
second final boss, or the final
yeah,
boss in Dark Cloud 2. It's kind
Dark
of cool.
Cloud 2, yeah.
But
That's a much better, much more balanced game.
hmm. Yep. Yeah, yeah, Mark Hamill's probably a lot of people say, "Oh, he's not a voice actor." It's like, "Oh, he's been in a lot of
Yes, he
video
is.
games." Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah, Joker and he was also
He's
in
not only a voice actor, he's a very
Darksiders.
good voice actor.
Yep. Darksiders, he was oh, what was the guy's name in Darksiders? Shoot. I'll think of that one later.
He's Ericus in Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. Yeah, he's been in a lot of things that
He's
now
very, very good.
The one that's always made me laugh, and I don't know why it does, is Lance Bass played Sephiroth in the original Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, he puts it in his bio, like to this
Yeah.
day.
Yep. It's
And it's
always made
like,
me
dude,
laugh.
you had like a bunch of grunts, dude. Like you
Yep.
don't have any dialogue.
Yeah. It's always made me laugh, and I don't know why.
It's
It
just so
does.
funny. It's like why are you advertising this? You like don't say anything.
Yep.
It's like a random optional boss fight.
Yeah. And it's a
But
pain in the butt.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, did you do you have a favorite voice actor?
Favorite voice actor? Christina V.
Okay. That's a good
She
choice.
is excellent because if you haven't played Tales of Berseria, her performance as Velvet Crow is the best English performance I've ever heard.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. I
The way she switches from just pure anger to just depressed pain so seamlessly.
mhm.
It's just the most amazing voice acting I have ever heard. She is
Yeah.
very talented.
Yeah. He's she's yeah really good. I've listened to her a little bit of her stuff. I was always a big
Good
fan.
singer too.
Yeah. I was always a big fan of Nolan North. He's done a
Yep.
lot of stuff.
Good voice actor.
Yeah. And oh my goodness, my brain just completely went dead.
Yuri Lowenthal is a good voice actor.
Yeah, he's good. He was Spider-Man was good. I always loved the original. Did you watch the animated series back in the 90s?
For which
Spider-Man
one?
Spider-Man animated
N-
series?
No,
Like the original
not back in
original.
the day.
Oh man, the Spider-Man
I've
voice
seen the
actor.
memes.
Yeah, the Spider-Man voice actor, and that was great. Obviously Kevin Conroy is another one of my favorites. Rest in peace. The best Batman in my opinion. Um, but oh my goodness, why
I
can't I
mean, I
think of?
watched some of Batman animated series and
Yep,
Batman Beyond.
yeah, yep. He was in both of those. Um, oh my goodness, why can't I think of the other guy's name? It's gonna bug me. Not he was oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me. I'm looking it up
John
now.
Chiplock. I'm just
Ah,
listing off voice actors I know.
I think he was in Last of Us for a second, and I
Johnny
can't think
Young Bosch.
he was a Power Ranger. Um,
He's also a voice actor.
yeah, yeah, he was a my goodness, why can't I
He was
think of
the
his
Black Ranger.
Yep. Well, back when they went, you know what? We're kind of we have our Black Ranger not as a black guy this time because we got in trouble for
that
that.
was that was really hilarious.
Like,
They had
oops.
they had the Asian as the Yellow Ranger.
Yep.
They had the Black Ranger as the black guy.
Yep.
And then they messed up again because they made the Native American the Red Ranger later on
Yep.
when Tommy became it. Rest his soul.
That's famous. Now you're gonna get
Sad that
mad because I just remember I was looking it up and he was actually in a Trails game. And
okay.
you're Troy Baker. That's the one. I could not think of his
Okay.
name.
Yep, he is a good voice actor.
I could see his face. Couldn't think of his name. I was sitting there going, ah, he was in. I'm thinking, all right, he was in Last of Us. He was Joel, and I just
Yep.
and I was sitting there going crazy. Booker with DeWitt and
Richard F. Carr's another big one that's in a lot of games.
yep, Booker DeWitt was in Bioshock Infinite. Speaking of Bioshock, did you ever play Bioshock?
I have not. I
Okay,
haven't touched it.
so I'm gonna tell you right now, Bioshock. If you like, I mean, if you're not a big fan of FPSs, I understand that, but Bioshock has one of I would, if not the best, um, plot twist in all video games. Like,
Sounds exciting.
you don't see it coming. It's just one of those things that makes that you're once you get to that point in the game, you're like, what? And then
Is it one
you,
of the ones that actually has actual setup that you see that you just don't realize?
yeah, it's playing with you the whole entire game until you get to that point, and you don't realize it.
'Cause those are the best ones when it's actually when it doesn't. Seems like it comes out of nowhere, but
Hmm.
then you go back, you're like, oh no, it didn't actually.
Yeah,
It's been there the whole time.
yep, it's been playing with you the whole time. So yeah, if you get a chance to play BioShock, I would definitely play it. Even if you play with your wife, like you both would love it. It's easy. I mean, it's easy to play. There's a lot of, easy. I mean, you have a gun and then you have a power, basically a power and stuff like that. And you get to fight against a Big Daddy, which is like great. The Big Daddies are nuts and they're scary and big and
I mean, I think I've seen
threatening.
them online. Like they got the little
Yeah.
drill arms or something.
Yep. Yeah, they're scary as all get out. And then you find out there's little sisters, which are basically, um, they're little helpers, but you'll find out more about them, and then the twist in the end, or twist near the end, and it's like, what is happening? I don't. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, he just plays with your emotion
Yeah,
the whole time, or the game plays with your emotions the whole time, and it's so good, and the twist is like
yeah.
amazing.
It
But
sounds really good.
yeah, definitely if you get a chance to play it, it's on most I think PlayStation Network now.
Yep. I mean,
So,
when I get into a game, I really like do
hmm
a lot in a game. I mean,
yep.
I'm so insane that I suffered through Speeda in Dark Cloud 2. I bought all the outfits
hmm
in Dark Cloud 2. By the way, your reward for doing that is, buying basically a weird bikini for Monica
Yep.
and a clown suit for the guy for
Yep.
Max. It's so weird. I can't believe I played enough Speeda to get that.
Yeah.
This is a terrible minigame, by the way.
Yep. So BioShock, actually, I'll tell you right now, um, was considered to be one of the greatest video games ever made. So, yeah, if anybody's never played it, it is amazing, like I said. I think it won Game of the Year, the year it came out. Basically from let's say PlayStation, or yeah, every review score basically was either
And a
like out of
9.
10 was 10 out of 10, or lowest was 8 out of 10 for that. So yeah,
I mean, it's funny that that's considered low.
yeah, that was the lowest score, which was nuts. And then they brought iOS, but that was, iOS isn't even a gaming console at that time. But yeah, one Game of the Year for Game Informer, which RIP that won Spike TV Best Game X Play Game of the Year. Uh, is actually as of October 2020 the best is highest ranked game on Metacritic. So, but yeah, there's a lot of great games, but it's definitely one of those that I tell everybody about. I'm like, you need to play it if you haven't played it. Like Legend Dragoon and Bioshock are my two go to. Like, you need to play these games because,
Maybe
like
I'll
we
stream
talked
it.
about, yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, if you stream, you would like, I think you would laugh just because, like, you'd be like, I didn't see that coming at all, and then just be, you don't know how to react at that point. You just be like, okay, and it's,
Yeah,
but
a good twist is amazing. A bad twist is just like, what the heck?
yeah. And they do really well with it, and they make a lot of references to other first person shooters, because it's, like the
Yeah,
first, like when you literally get off the boat, or get off, you're basically underwater for raptures. Everybody's, seen the trailer, whatever. But the first thing they say, well, you grab a crowbar or something, like crowbar was reference
Half-Life,
Half-Life. Yep.
Half-Life 2.
Yep. So they make jokes, make references to other FPS sometimes, and then
I
um
actually did play a little Half-Life 2 at my friend's house.
Half-Life's a
He
good
had the
game
game.
too. But I do want to
Not
thank
that they
you.
ever finished the
Yeah.
Not that they ever finished the series, but
Nope. They're still looking for three. They're struggling with three for Left for Dead, and also Half-Life. So we'll see what happens. But I do want to thank you for being on this episode. I know I've kept you a good long while.
that's all right.
So, but I do want
I
to,
enjoyed it.
yeah, thank you again. I will definitely want to have you on again. Where can people find you if they want to talk to you or watch your streams or YouTube?
Well, I have a Discord. It's same as my YouTube name. It's Ryzen010.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I have my YouTube, which is Ryzen010, and Twitch at Ryzen010, and I also have a Twitter that is the same. It's Ryzen010. So those are where you can find me. I don't like to use Twitter a lot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
I just use it to. I'm streaming basically.
Yeah.
Twitter's kind of a
Well,
cesspool,
yeah.
but but if you want to talk to me, Discord is really the place to go
Mm-hmm.
because you join my Discord. I look at it all the time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's where I'm at. It pings whenever I go live.
Yep.
There's lots of different topics. We got a gaming topic, general topic. We got sports.
Mm-hmm.
You can post pictures of the animals, artwork.
Yeah.
We just have fun over there.
Definitely. I agree. But, yeah, but I would definitely check out Ryzen. He's been doing this for a while, and he's really good at what he does. So If you
Thank you.
enjoy, no problem. If you enjoy JRPGs, if you enjoy watching somebody play a game for the first time, I mean, I've watched a few Your Blind runs on Twitch, so you're like, oh, okay, and then play through them. So if you enjoy all that stuff, you'll definitely like Ryzen. Ryzen's a really good LPer.
Yeah,
So
I stream. Well, right now I'm streaming like starting at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Monday through Friday, and then Monday through Thursday I do another stream at about 6:30
hmm,
to about 9:30 to 10, and sometimes I'll stream on the weekends too. It depends how I feel.
yeah, definitely understand that. I've been trying to get in the streaming situation. I tried to do an LP of Hogwarts Legacy, which
Yeah, it
it's going.
it's is that any good?
Eh, so it's not actually not bad. I haven't I got probably about 10 hours in so far, maybe a little bit less.
One of these days I want to just stream like a terrible game,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know how well that would go.
I don't know. I
Stream
was trying.
Superman 64 or something.
Yeah, yep. Ironic, but thank you all for watching this episode. I will definitely be back with another guest in the future, and definitely have Ryzen back in the future again. We'll talk some more Patriots probably next season, preseason, to see how they're what
Yeah,
changes they make.
they're you know, 5 years away, maybe.
Right.
Being optimistic.
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your night.
Take care.